So, final summary comes from a true Toyota leader who spent many, many years and many decades in Toyota Motor sales, and one of his famous quotes when he was near retirement was, "What he's learned to learn the Toyota way is the most important factors for success are patience, a focus on long-term rather than short-term results, continually reinvesting in people, product, and plant, and an unforgiving commitment to quality." If you have these things, and this becomes the way you think and the way you behave, then you're becoming a lean leader. But this in itself, self-developing, takes patience. It takes a long-term focus. It takes a focus on developing other people, even when you can't tangibly see the results that will come from investing in those people. And it takes absolute passion for the customer and quality. Here's some homework for you to do. What I'd like you to think about is some part of your organization. It could be your whole company. It could be the department you're in. You have to pick the scope of what you're going to evaluate. And what I've written down are the key characteristics of a lean leader. And what I'm asking you to do is to identify whether there's a critical gap, number one, between this description of an ideal leader and what the typical leader is like in your organization. You can even apply that to yourself. And then 4 means that there's a major gap, or a minor gap. And 5 means you're there. You're in the re-stage and you're just humming along. I would be surprised if anybody's in the re-stage on any of these things. So the first thing is, do you regularly, or do leaders in your organization regularly go and see to observe people and processes and really have a picture of true north, very, very clear in your mind, where you can clearly see the gaps between the current situation and true north. You're doing this on a regular basis. Are you an expert on process improvement? It doesn't count if you've delegated that to staff people or your lean coaches. Or if you're a lean coach, do you feel you're an expert on process improvement? Remember, process improvement doesn't mean you can do the math, or you can fill out the worksheets, or you can use Minipad. It means you can actually improve the process, which means that you have to be able to influence the people to learn and follow the new process in a disciplined way. So you're not done until the process is operating at the new higher level and it becomes standard routine work for the people who are doing the process. It's stabilized. 3, there are deliberate programs in place to teach lean leaders discipline, problem solving through on-the-job development, and there's coaches. So the leaders have coaches, like my guitar lesson today. Every week I'm going to my teacher, I play what I practiced this week, I get feedback, I'm given new drills and new assignments. Is anything like that happening in your organization to teach you how to be a leader and how to be a leader who coaches and process improvement to achieve difficult targets? And finally, are leaders deliberately learning and practicing self-development? So my teacher, my guitar teacher, can't do anything if I don't practice any of the drills or assignments he gives me between lessons. So is there any kind of deliberate practice focused on self-development going on in the organization? If your answers on all 4 of these is somewhere between 1 and 3, so there's some serious gaps or critical gaps, don't panic. It means that you're an average, regular company, because very few companies really focus in a conscious way on developing leaders. So now you have a picture, just numerical picture of where you are on in these 4 areas. And then the next assignment for you to work on after this session. Number 1, what key points did you hear from me about lean leadership? Number 2, where do you see key gaps between where either you or your organization, whatever you evaluated in the last slide, what are the key gaps that you need to start to work on in order to encourage leadership self-development? And finally, develop a personal plan. What can you as a leader work on to begin your self-development? Part of that requires a coach. Now, you may not be able to run to your boss right now and say, go and hire me a professional lean coach. So you have to find somebody, and there's lots of different ways to find somebody. I have a friend who actually went on the internet, found somebody, and through one of the social network programs, asked that person if they would do coaching online virtually. And that person was honored and said yes, and that person really changed the life of my friend. So there's a lot of creative ways to find coaches. George has a website, and there's coaching provided as part of this course. Take advantage of any opportunity you have to find and use a coach. And the final note is from a former executive VP who says the most important factors are patience, focus on the long term rather than the short term, reinvestment in people, product, and plant, and an unforgiving commitment to quality. Thank you.